Well, hello there, everyone. Here, show you right here. Talk about for real original for digital worldwide marketing sales, and basically talking about marketing sales. And what does it usually mean when we mean by marketing? Does it necessarily mean that you're talking about the future, or is it just what you call trying to get you to buy something else, or something like that? But I have some right here, but mainly talking about an account, and I know that. If we're likely one or two, if we've been there to where that whenever you're trying to order something, maybe through a catalog or something like that, and you come up to those times to where whenever you don't have an account, and yeah, you're gonna maybe talk to somebody that maybe more familiar with more what of the step-by-step processes, and I know that most of us here would probably say too that is it easier to just watch somebody order it for you, or would you like to go through a few steps, at your own time and manner? So let's just say that maybe if you are at the stores, the local stores, or maybe if you're going to be what you call sitting next to somebody there, maybe at the local, let's just say if it is the tax office or somewhere like that, they order something for you, or if any source of appliance store that they just ask you what you like to have, and there's screens. I guess they call them the kiosk. Where they ask you to the personnel there, the employee, the person would ask you what you would like, what you're shopping for. You'll help guide you for how to place an order. It is how to be able to shop around through the inventory. It is. But what's the best ways of how do you want to say for marketing? And I know that just yesterday that I was also they have this Clearstream TV, the Clearstream TV antennas, and so I know that that's what you call free broadcast on the air, television, and so they say that there's these devices that they say that no internet required and all that, but I just really think too that really though that depends on really about that what source of device that you're using in your location, and also we might say as to it depends on a lot of things, but you have right here, if we're talking about for World Wide Web and real original, the best way of how to describe real original. So that basically means is to where that, yeah, that, for what's really like compared to the actual idea and, the original publisher, what was there before the whole editing process and proof additional, editing process that came around. So whenever we speak about digital, though, whenever I speak about digital, I'm also talking about to where that a lot of that information is provided online, and then you're using another source of program, just to be able to have access to those files electronically, and no need to worry about any paper files or none. But still, though, that the best ways of how you want to say marketing, and I guess marketing tips, the best marketing tips I can maybe use is to where that anywhere you go, you have this. So it seems like that yeah that a lot of people would say that that one a few ways that maybe you can say that for the best marketing is the use of satellite, and then also taking that to work everywhere you go. So anywhere you go in the world, and also that for anything related to something that you haven't seen before, something like that. Talk about for the future though. But there was a time, I can tell anybody here, there was a time to where that before I, had an account, and I even had a credit card, and so likely thinking is that really though that whenever you have your parents, if it's going to be mom or dad or an uncle or somebody that's going to maybe tell you that yeah, we all remember those times to where whenever we even had punishments about if you're going to be ordering something maybe over the phone or through a catalog, and I think it's to where about every week whenever you get paid that allowance, a lot of times it's paid in cash, but a lot of these companies that they ask for a credit card. So that's another thing too that yeah that that somebody is going to even if you're ordering automobile parts, that let's just say if you don't have an account, then you maybe you're going to be working with somebody who does have an account, and maybe if they just don't know how it works or something like that, something else that they might say, any reason excuses like that. But nowadays it seems like that even over the television set, game systems and the television set, that you have it to where you can order stuff and buy stuff. And I can say that the Movie Club number one, and then the Google Play Store number two. So there's different ways of how you want to describe, for marketing, that, but still that sometimes that if you want to kind of call it measure by levels as to where that if you do so well during a certain time in a week and then maybe during the whole 30 days that you were able to sell at least about maybe 13% or so of maybe about maybe 5% of the merchandise or something like that. But anyway, but I mainly want to talk about for accounts, but then also that maybe it's possible you may, hand out the catalog to somebody, and they say that they don't want anything in that catalog until they look at it, and then they might see something that they want to, order. So it's like, yeah, a lot of times whenever you get into the sales, and sometimes that you might have neighbors that if they're interested in maybe anything that's related to the TV. I could probably say too, besides the cosmetic products, if that's going digital, but still the TV, especially the mobile devices and TV, and so it's like digital coupons. So it seems like between real original, I guess that's another phrase of how you want to say is to where you were first introduced to it just by looking at the TV ads until a friend of yours that started talking a little bit more and start showing you how it worked and all that. I guess it's a really that really can that really be a habit? Tell anybody too, can that really be a habit to where that you're showing anybody any marketing tips? And let's say one of those marketings that I use right here is a painting right here of me, and let's just say that I include on there is that for the calendar of 2022. So somebody that might say that it says 2022 right here. So does that mean that there's not going to be anything available in the inventory or something like that? Anything that's going to be on clearance? But talk about for digital right here. I have a line right here as to where if there was like a satellite, work on for satellite, and I know that I could even tell my parents both, my mom and dad both, or even a cousin or an uncle or so, if it's going to be anybody else that you might know of when if you want to go ahead and maybe started doing any source of sales, reasons at all for any source of sales for any marketing sales, is a business, any sorts of marketing sales in the business. And the first thing that I'm going to maybe mention is about satellite. And what do you have to say about satellite? Well, with satellite, though, that you're basically picking up reception, using that new source of technology. And I know from if it would have been back in like early of 1995, whenever a lot of the neighbors were all discovering it and want to know how does it work, is it cheaper, and do you get more channels? And so now a lot of stuff about satellite, though. And I can tell anybody here that the first thing, whenever I first was introduced to satellite, it was on the VCR. Yeah, it was on the VCR recording programs with the TV off. A lot of times you would have the TV off, but a lot of times it was, the VCR. And so a lot of the recording settings. So I guess you can say that the first thing that I was introduced to before the microphone and the karaoke was the VCR recording programs on TV. So I guess that was like another source of digital, technology source of a way that I learned. And so that whenever we're talking about recording something, and let's just say that maybe if it is maybe a documentation or something, maybe during a meeting or something like that. And I know I talked before about meetings though, and really though, in case if anybody asks me, what about meetings though? Marketing sales. One of those marketing sales would require you to go to a meeting and maybe meet up with a client, maybe from another business or something like that, from another company. There was about 4 or 5 of them meeting up with you from another company, and they want to ask you a few questions going on with something that they were working on during their database or something like that. And so whenever we're talking about World Wide Web, I guess does that basically mean is to where that you can pretty much find it, anywhere that you're going to be, searching on the World Wide Web, and if you're going to be going any other location you go by. So one source of way you can maybe describe the World Wide Web is to where that it's going to be looking up information about your search results. Your search results, it's going to be looking up information about that on the browsers, and those browsers, I guess, are linked to different sites, and So that's just a thing to where what we call real original. That whenever you're going to be shopping, that sometimes it seems like that you find what you're looking for, but maybe it's a little bit more expensive, and maybe there's going to be a site that's going to say that we can give you a discount. If you are a member, through this website or through the club. So yeah, there's different sorts of ways of how we want to describe marketing, but somebody that may say that the best tip that you can give to somebody is to where you know how difficult it is to find exactly what you're looking for. Well, here's the tip is to where a lot of times that whenever you're able to find what you've been looking for a long time, there's no arguments about how much it costs. But still, that I know that sometimes, though, it seems like, that whenever, somebody who helps guide you, I'm like, if there's something in that inventory that you've been looking for, something that you had since you were a kid, and you want to get a replacement or something like that. And so there's different ways, but I guess that the best way of how mainly about your experience, about what you experience about ordering, because if you have not done it before, then chances are then you're going to maybe ask is where, okay, how does it work? And by the time you get it all figured out, and then you're going to go ahead and shop more. So it seems like it's all about getting everybody, all those customer shoppers, it's all about getting them more comfortable with the whole process. And one of those would be is to opening up a credit card, opening up an account through a credit card company, or getting approved through a gift card or something like that. So that's I guess that'll be step 2 of the process. But still though really though that when we're talking about if anybody has heard that before, to where that your parents wanted you to stay off the computer, I'm like, yeah, but still that the very first phone call that I ordered something maybe over the TV was maybe a video game or a comic book. But still, let's just say that if your mom or dad, or somebody that a family or friend that may mention also buys, to where they don't know how something works. So yeah, that having these meetings over the computer too, where you allow somebody else to take the controls over your computer, and then you're able to talk to them, and they're able to share each other's computer screen, and then they can see on there is to where that this is what you guys set the account for. So besides this right here, it will be another page that there will be about maybe a 4 or 5 page document displayed on like a computer screen that would show the order information, and as well as the confirmation order number, and as well as if for the delivery status and all that. But I can tell everybody here that how can you really explain to somebody about how all that process works just by looking at a pane like this? And the planet right here, I guess, is that supposed to mean right here that everybody around the globe, almost everybody that is doing it. Almost everybody else has an account. I'm like, yeah, maybe not everybody, but still though that at some point in time in the next 5 years from now, that a lot of that stuff is going to be going online, and then be able to have would it be requirement to have an account? And if it is, then maybe that the requirement should say is to where you don't have to be 15 or older to have the account, but maybe if you can have a joint account, have a joint account to where you can actually you can get an account with somebody. If you are if you want to refer a friend to the website, and then it would be something so for saying is to where that refer a friend to the website, and then you'll be able to get your own shopping wish list, and you will be able to get on there at your own time and convenience, and you'll be able to go ahead and order something. But still though that share joint accounts, and I know that's something that the companies are going to probably be thinking about. Instead of having your own account, your own personal account or improved pro account, that to have it to where that you would be able to have a joint account. If you be adding somebody else to your account, and then you want to order some things, and then have it to where maybe if it's a roommate, or maybe if it's a cousin, that you want to you allow them to go ahead and share your store, and share the account just to be able to purchase stuff. But different sorts of marketing for 2010, huh? But anyway, talk about for account is born, and talk about for the World Wide Web, for the best marketing tips. But other than that, thanks for watching, everyone, and have a great day.